Hi, honey buns. I'm gonna give y'all a second to hop on and get the notification that I'm live. And in the meantime, I'm gonna eat a little bit. I might even put some music on. So I made a little salad. This has carrot, tomato, cucumber, and some red onion in it. And I cut up a little bit of watermelon. And then I just found the most amazing little pre-made meals at Tesco. This is actually this is pad kapral gai, which is a type of Thai dish, very traditional. It's like basically a stir fry with basil leaf, chili, and chicken. Gai stands for chicken, or you can get it with pork. It's often made with like beef or duck and things like that, but most commonly chicken or pork. So this one's chicken, has an egg, has some rice on top. Um, and yeah, this is lunch for today. And the great thing about these little pre-made meals, so if you've ever been to Thailand, then you probably are already familiar with like Tesco Lotus, which is like a grocery store. It's very similar to Walmart, but a little bit differently in some of the things that they carry. But they do have, what is it called? They have, like, back there in the food court, where the fruit and vegetables are. Sometimes they'll have like pre-made meals. Like, this is where I got this. However, the good thing that I just found out about Tesco, like when it's close to closing, so they close around 10 p.m. This is like a little hack for anybody who may end up being on a budget or whatever you may be on, or if you just like a deal. Basically, the Tesco closes around 10. Now, this is not for the smaller Tescos. This is for like the big mega Tescos that sell like clothes and things like that. So basically, they close around 10, and around 7:30 to about 8:30, they basically mark these off like 50%. So the normal price of this one was like 29 baht, which is like less than $1. But if you go like closer to closing, you can get it for 14 baht, which is like close to 50 cents. So normally, I will go up to Tesco and I'll just stock up on a few before they close and just get like vegetables and stuff, and kind of meal prep a little bit. Hi loves, how are you? Welcome in. Hey Emily. Hey pretty lady, it's good to see you. It's so good to see you too. I'm gonna give us a little tune. Well, I thought I was gonna give us a little tune. We're gonna see if a little tune wanna come up for us. If so, then we will possibly have a little tune while I have lunch. I actually just got up not too long ago. I've been doing this new thing where I kind of like have everything in my bed, because I like to have like fruit and nuts for breakfast. I haven't had any nuts since I got to Thailand because the nuts, they're not expensive, but I don't really feel like they're worth the price because the bag is practically empty. So I'm looking for like a fresh nut place, like like a street vendor or something who sells nuts by like the weight, like peanuts or whatever. Oh my goodness, I just turned my computer on and there's a bunch of things that just popped up. We're not doing that right now. um, yeah, so basically I will go to the grocery store and I'll get like some kind of fruits. Like most of the time some of those little small like baby oranges, those are so freaking good here. Like, oh, they're so good. So literally I like to have like some type of fruit in my bed with me so I don't have to get out the bed right away, and then I can like start my meditation in the morning, do what is it called, like the frequency music. So if y'all have been checking out some of my public playlists on my channel, y'all already know I have a playlist that specifically has a bunch of frequency music, which is really great for you if you have any type of blockages, or even just, or you know, if you're stressed, you know what I mean? Like if anything is going on in your life and you just feel like I need a like woosah moment, even like if you just want to fall asleep to some soothing type of music that is good for you spiritually, this is the playlist that you need to, and it's free, and I literally update it quite frequently. Like I literally just added some new I don't think we're gonna have music. I don't think we're gonna have music. But basically I literally uploaded I update it pretty frequently, y'all. Like very, very frequently. Just because like I use this playlist too. Like this is a personal playlist of mine that has like all of my favorite frequency music that I've listened to. Mm. So in the mornings when I wake up, I basically like to turn on some frequency music, especially if I'm still like a little bit tired, and it kind of just helps me get up. I like to listen to like affirmation type of mix it, like meditation, you know, where somebody's literally just saying different affirmations like an hour or so. And then I like to also do guided meditation, which y'all know I freaking love. And then, you know, if I need to check some emails or whatever, basically I keep water and keep fruit in my bed, so that way I can nourish myself in the morning, I can hydrate myself in the morning, and I don't necessarily have to get out the bed, and I can do like most of my morning routine from bed without feeling like I gotta rush and get up and things like that. And that seems to be working for me right now. You gotta figure, oh my god, this little loud little sound just came on. But you know, you gotta figure out what works for you and go with that. So this is just a tip, you know, you could try it, but if it doesn't work for you, don't feel no type of way. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more time while I distribute out this food out the baggie. I hope you all are doing well though. I hope you all are in very high spirits. I am. I just have to say I'm feeling really, really good. It's very interesting because I can definitely see a shift. I just feel a shift, you know what I mean? It's just so good. Y'all have to let me know how the internet quality is. I am feeling very good today. I've honestly been, so I've moved. I'm not at the same place anymore. I moved. So when I first got to Thailand, I was staying in, just checking in with you. I'm out in the grocery store, battery low. Okay, Emily, don't worry, love. I'm sure you'll catch the replay. Have an amazing rest of your day. Talk to you soon. It was so good. So, got to Bangkok. I didn't stay in my favorite area. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad it's good. Okay, because, you know, sometimes Thailand has iffy internet. And I was looking back at our last session, and I was like, ooh, that was real jumpy. Like, it just looked weird. You know, like, the connection didn't look that great. So, it happens like that sometimes in Thailand. I don't know why. As much tourism as they have here, I'm not sure what the deal is about them upgrading the internet here, but I'm very glad that the internet where I am at now is a lot better. Plus, I watched the replay as well. So, basically, I moved to a new area. So, I'm not sure the name of the area that I was at when I first got here, but I know it wasn't too far from the Mochit BTS station, which is basically not too far from the Dongmyung, the Dongmyung airport. And the Dongmyung airport, basically there's two airports in Bangkok. And the Dongmyung airport is for local flights, and it's kind of far out. Like if you ever go to Thailand or if you've been to Thailand, you'll hear something about like a airport link. The airport link does not go to Dongmyung, not as of now. However, it does go to the international flight, and then it connects to the rest of the city or the international airport. So I was staying somewhere near there, and it was very much in development, and it worked for me for the time being because, like I said in our last live, I needed a little isolated moment. I needed to hear some things that I had been telling myself. I needed to get some new messages. If it was a full moon happening, you know, it was a lot of things going on. However, an opportunity came for me to move. Basically, the lady wanted me to pay a deposit for lights and water, which not isn't normally, that's not common when you're staying at a place that you found on Airbnb, or if you're staying at a place that you found on booking.com. However, this particular lady, it's like it was an apartment complex basically. So she didn't include water, she didn't include electricity, but it wasn't much. Like, I want to say by the time I left, I only ended up paying like $76, 76 not dollars, in Thai baht. And let me do a currency exchange. I want to say 76 baht, and 76 baht is like $2. I paid $2 for my water and for my lights for 7 days. So basically, my rent for the month at that particular place, it was really like $5 a day, but for the month it was 198 Thai baht. No, it was 6,000 Thai baht. Sorry, I'm getting the numbers mixed up. It was 6,000 Thai baht for the whole month for the first place I stayed, which is converting to $198 USD. And basically she wanted me to give her a deposit of 2,500 baht, which is like $82, basically for lights and water. And she was basically like, you know, at the end we will we'll take out whatever you owe for the lights and water, and then we'll give you back the rest. And I didn't pay her for the deposit up front. Like, I just basically paid her for the month. And then, you know, it was interesting because I basically told her like, oh, I'll pay you the deposit for the water on like next Wednesday or something. And so I spent my 7 days there. I was like, well, really it was like almost more than 7 days. It was more than 7 days. I really feel like it might have been like a week and a half, or maybe almost 2 weeks, y'all. Honestly, I can't really think right now off the top of my head. However, hold on. Hey, Dara. Dara say, hi, lady. Happy to see you. I'm recovering from recent surgery, and I wanted you to know how much your encouraging words are helping me. Love you. Oh my God. I hope you made it through surgery fine. What did you have surgery for? I hope you're okay, girl. I'm sending you some healing vibes. I hope everything is going well for you. And I'm so glad that my words are encouraging you. I'm so glad that you're feeling, you know, this love energy, and just, you know, moving forward on what you want to do. Oh, we're moving. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to like multitask and eat and move my legs and things. So, yes, love. I hope you're doing amazing. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Yeah, so basically, I stayed in this particular area. I want to say it was almost 2 weeks. And honestly, by the time I was supposed to pay her the deposit, I didn't have it. And I was like, well, give me a little bit more time. And honestly, it kind of worked out for me spiritually too, because the area wasn't the best, because it was still developing. It was still developing, and I was having a hard time finding food. And I was just like, you know, if you're gonna charge me for the day, then I might leave early. You know, it just kind of gave me another option to roll out early. So I was like, okay then. And I came to the area that I love. And when I tell y'all, the area that I love, it's so good. The area that I love in Bangkok is called Old Nut, like on nut, but they pronounce it Old Nut. However, apparently this area used to be the end of the BTS line, and then they expanded the BTS. Like, even I just remember how it was like 2 years ago when I last was here, and from then to now, it literally has grown so incredibly, just so much. It's grown so much. Like, it's a lot more things in this area now too, but it's always had some good stuff, you know. Like, it's more of a residential area, so a lot of things are a little bit more cheaper. It's a big grocery store. It's actually two grocery stores, because it's the Tesco, but then across the street it's a big C, I believe. Like, across the freeway it's a big C. It's a little night market. It's like a couple of night markets that pop up in like different parts of different streets. It's a little soup vendor, and I swear I used to pay like 15 baht for this soup when I used to live here a while ago, and it has like some little pieces of pork, like some smoked pork or something, some little dumplings in it, some type of little green vegetable, and then the noodles that they make homemade. Oh, it's so freaking good. I had some last night and it was a blessing. They went up like 10 baht, so now it's like 25 baht, but still under $1. They got some new stuff though, because it's like some restaurants are over here now, some other little cafes, you know, that actually look really nice, you know, and some like they have a wash interior over here, which never was a problem because the place that I like to stay at has a wash interior. So I definitely would say, if you're coming to Bangkok, you want to stay somewhere on the BTS line, because it basically connects you to the whole city. And if you're on the BTS line, like any part of the BTS line, like Osuk, not Osuk, Usuk, Thonglor, Ekamai is a really good neighborhood. Siam is a little bit more expensive though. It's like in the heart of the city. But if you want to do something where you're not quite where all the action is, you know, like if you want something that's a little bit more slower pace and a little bit more quiet, but it has all of the conveniences that you can easily walk to, you want to stay in Old Nut. Like, Old Nut is the area, so literally ONNUT, look for that area, and literally you'll be walking distance to the BTS. Where I'm staying at is like 10 minutes to the BTS, and there's so many options around here for a lot of different things. So girl, I came back because I literally, when I tell y'all, I can't remember the first time that I've probably stayed here at least 10 times, at least, okay? Like, the first time I found this place, I was so in love, and I legit, after that, I didn't stay anywhere else, you know, except for a few times when I came to Thailand and had friends who had homes, and they was like, oh, just come stay with me, and, you know, in those occasions, then I would stay with them, but, like, any other time, I would stay here. And for anybody who is like, you know, well, sis, I don't like staying in a dorm and all that kind of stuff, they do have private rooms as well, and it's really inexpensive. Like, the dorm room is $5 a night, sis, and the private rooms, well, they vary, but the cheapest private room that they have that's on the rooftop is $16 a night. Okay, so, and it's family owned. Literally everybody who worked here when I used to come here, it's been 2 years, everybody still works here. And girl, it was just, oh, I so needed that moment. Like, it was so interesting to me when I made the switch to leave from the first area to come back here, because I feel like being isolated like that, sometimes when you're in an isolated space, it gives you a chance to value things, you know what I mean? Like, coming into this space, I was surrounded by so much love, y'all. Like, legit, I walked in, and the receptionist lady, like, she has a son and things like that, so of course I was like, oh, where's your son, and da 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 da. We was catching up, but when she walked in, like, we both screamed. She was like, oh my god. She didn't, like, I didn't think she was gonna recognize me because, like, I cut my hair off, and girl, I've lost a lot of weight. Like, I was looking like, I might have to post these in the community. I don't know, we gonna see. But basically, it's very interesting because my weight since I have been on this earth has fluctuated quite a bit. When I was younger, I was very, very skinny. Like, it was a time in I wanted to say a time and spirit almost came out of my mouth. But it was a time when I was young where I was in a 00 girl, okay? A 00 pants, girl. I can't even imagine what a 00 would be like right now, okay? But at the same time, I was very skinny as well when I was a child because I wasn't properly eating, you know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes, like, you know, my mom wouldn't feed me, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes my mom would be like using food as a punishment, you know what I mean? Where everybody else in the house is eating and I'm not, you know, or she'll go out and buy food for everybody else and not buy food for me. And then, like, going to CPS, it was just a different type of environment. It's not that they didn't give us food, they gave us food, but like, not everybody could cook. You know what I mean? And the food wasn't always great. And then coming from a household where I was damn near starved, it was like, you know, I was kind of still in that starving myself sometimes like moment, you know what I mean, where like I wouldn't eat, you know, like, let me, like, if I was angry, or like if somebody had done something to me, or if I didn't like the food, or just, you know, acting out, but in a way that was more damaging to me than anybody else, you know what I mean? So that was part of the reason why I was very skinny as well when I was younger. However, when I went to college, sis, get much weight I gained in college. So basically, I started my college, what I was doing, I was failing classes, bullshitting a little bit, got my act together. I was like, you know what, I need to go to a more structured college. So I transferred to Sam Houston State University. Huntsville, Texas is about 2 hours away from Houston. It's going towards Dallas. It's like the Woodlands. You pass Sugarland, Conroe. No, you don't pass Sugarland, but you pass Conroe, you pass the Woodlands, and it's about halfway to Dallas. Baby, the food was so freaking good there. One of our favorite restaurants apparently closed. They used to do these Kool-Aid type drinks called Red Rockets that was so sweet, like Kool-Aid, but they was like heavy liquor, so they would get you messed up if you had a few. It was this chicken place that was my favorite. They used to make fried catfish, chicken wings, girl, they would be fried to perfection, and their fries was just blessings on my taste bud. And then it was a place, it was called what was it called, I can't remember, but basically it was like a baked potato place. So all they did was baked potatoes. Blessings, bar spot, girl. Like, my best friend in college, baby, we was foodies, okay? We was foodies, baby. We would travel to go eat. So like, legit, we get out of class, go pick up our little dime sack, honey, go get all the snacks that we was gonna eat, go back to either one of our places, roll up, smoke a little bit, you know, eat a whole bunch. Eat a whole bunch. And then, you know, we'd be like dancing and singing, like putting on music and dancing and singing, girl. It was a whole, college was a vibe for me, okay? College was a vibe, but I was in my own little in my own little world. So like, a lot of people didn't know me, but a lot of people would see me. But I was just, you know, in my own world, my own thing, which is still kind of how I operate, okay? However, when I was looking back at my college pictures, I was like, damn, I was fat. Nobody told me I was fat, but damn, I was fat. But I was cute with it, girl. Like, I was very confident. Like, I literally did not realize I had gained so much weight in college until after I had lost the weight, you know? And then basically, girl, I just was having a moment. I was like, ooh, girl. And then I got to Asia, and literally the weight started coming off because in Asia, the portions are a lot smaller. They're a lot smaller than our big Texas size plates, you know? So weight just was coming off, coming off, coming off. However, even though I thought initially that I was losing a lot of weight, when I first came to Asia, it still don't scratch the surface to the weight that I've lost now. And like now it's like I've been eating healthier, you know what I mean? Like I've only been drinking water. I still be eating candy. I still eat other things. You know, I still eat junk food. I still eat meat. I just find myself to be more of a plant-centric type of dieter. Not that I'm on a diet. It's just this is the way that I eat, where I'm eating more vegetables. I'm eating more fruit. I'm eating more nuts, more grains. I eat meat, but maybe not every day. You know what I mean? I've been eating meat like every day since I've been here, just because I've been getting these pre-made meals. But like aside from this, I wouldn't be even eating this much meat every day. And even like when I thought about like me going home, when I just went home to Texas, y'all, I didn't have none of my favorites, okay? Like the only thing I had some Gushers. Y'all know those little Gusher candies? Baby, I couldn't even resist. I had a box of like 53. I ate them all in like a couple of days. And I went to one of my favorite Caribbean restaurants called the Reggae Hut. It's actually owned by the Breakfast Club. If you've ever been to Houston and you know about the Breakfast Club, I actually used to work at the Breakfast Club. I got fired though. Or maybe I quit. One of the two. But basically the Reggae Hut is on Alameda, and it's right across from the Turkey Leg Hut, and it's a blessing, girl. It's a blessing. And sometimes they have like live African drum players. Whole blessing. So go there, please. Go get your blessing. But pig out on anything when I was at home. Like, girl, I was eating healthy, okay? Like I was eating like salads and baked things and turkey, and I was looking back at it because, you know, sometimes, well, basically I was fasting when I went to Korea, and while I was fasting, I was having like a moment with food where I was like, you know, when you not eating, you know, when you fasting or something, and then you just like scrolling through Instagram looking at all the food. Girl, I was looking at all the food, and I kept seeing stuff from Houston. I was like, oh my God, I didn't have Raising Cane's. How did I not eat this while I was home? How did I not eat that? Girl, having a little moment with myself. But basically I got here to this hostel, my favorite one, reconnected with the lady and just, you know, the people who work here. And girl, she was like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. Like her and the owner, well, it's like a lady who works here, but she's been working here for as long as I've been coming here. And then the owner is a wife and a husband, but they normally don't come until like the weekends or some nights, you know. But even I saw the husband like 2 days ago, and he barely didn't even recognize me, y'all. And then he was like, oh my God, if my wife sees you, her mind is gonna blow. So needless to say, excuse me, I feel like food's coming all out my mouth. Needless to say, I got here and I felt so much love. I felt, oh, there she goes. But I don't want to show y'all, I don't know if she want to be on camera. But ooh, she's speaking Thai. She's on the phone with somebody. But basically, I just feel so much love. I just feel so much love. Like, everybody remembered me, and they just was like, oh, you know, catching up with me and things like that. And then across the street from this hostel, there is, it's like a little courtyard, very similar to the food courtyards in Malaysia. If you've ever been to Malaysia, it's like little outdoor type food courts. This one is a lot smaller, and you honestly can miss it if you, girl, she going in on somebody. You honestly can miss it if you don't know it's there. You can miss it basically. So I went over there because it's an old Thai woman and Thai man, husband wife couple, who owns this little restaurant, and the food over there is so amazing too. And it's like 50 baht for all of the different plates, which is super cheap. And basically, girl, I was so shocked because last time, like all the times that I'm here, I normally will, like, you know, go around, get different food, but I always eat over there, right? Like I always will go over there, hit up the wife and husband couple, and you know, get my like Thai dish because it's like some of the best Thai food in the city. And then I go to the next vendor, give me like a little slushy. Girl, they would always be teaching me Thai, and so I went over there, and honey, they was speaking English to me this time. I was like, oh my God, y'all done learned English. Like, girl, they have learned English on me, and I still don't know Thai fully. Like, I know some Thai word. Like, I do feel like last time I was here, my Thai vocabulary was a lot bigger, partially because of them. However, you know, when you don't use certain words, you lose it, and so a lot of my Thai words just need to be refreshed, basically. But I was just so shocked. I was like, oh my God, y'all learned English. So we like legit having full conversations. Like, they came up out the kitchen, because sometimes they can be a little bit shy, but they have really sweet energy. And the husband, they like made my food, and the husband came and sat with me and talked to me the whole time. So like, I ate my food, finished my food, and we were still talking. And if y'all been follow me on Instagram, but also here, you know that right now I'm writing 300 things that I want, and I've encouraged y'all to do this as well before the new year. So basically we got one more week. So 300 things that you want, write it down on paper. It doesn't have to be, you know, specific to 2020. It could just be things you want in your life, you know, no matter how big, how small, how outrageous, or what. Like, get clear about what you want. And one of the things that I put that I wanted was that I want to learn how to make some of my favorite Thai dishes. So first day, I go across the street, get some food, we talking. When I get ready to go, he's like, oh, next time I show you how to make, you know, this Thai dish, because they know that like I love the fried rice. I love this dish called Pat Cabral Guy, which I'm actually eating now. I love the green curry, the tom yum soup. It's a couple of different Thai dishes that I absolutely love. And so he basically told me that he'll teach me how to make it. So I was like, oh yes, this will be great. I actually think I'm gonna film that as a video too, so y'all can learn how to make one of my favorite dishes as well. So that'll be filmed before I go, and I felt super amazing about that. So basically, I feel so great. In a nutshell, y'all, I feel so great, and I'm so glad that I came back here. And I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did, because I just feel like the value that I have for this place was different because of where I was staying before I came. You know, like the other part of Bangkok that I was in, it was just it was some different things going on there, which I will definitely be sharing. Not that I'll be sharing, but more so you'll be hearing about it. Well, it depends on who becomes a Patreon. Basically, I decided let's talk about that too. Let's talk about that too, because we've been talking about it, and a few more things need to be clear. But basically, okay, let me open my computer. I need to pull it up for y'all. Let me open my computer up, and let's talk about Patreon. And let me finish off the little, y'all know, the little corner. Hold on a second, loves. Okay. And I have some watermelon. Yay. Okay. So, I know I've been telling y'all about Patreon. I've been getting y'all ready for the new journey for Patreon. A couple of things have happened, because I want to say last time that we talked, I just expressed to y'all that basically I have some fear, you know, like I have been working on the Patreon. I have been, you know, I have all these amazing ideas for how the Patreon community is going to be set up, things like that. And somewhere along me initially deciding to set it up to getting it actually completed, I got scared and I kind of just stopped doing it. You know what I mean? And I felt like I had started doing like a couple of posts in different places to give myself some accountability. It didn't really work because I was feeling, I didn't realize I was feeling scared until I got to Bangkok. Okay, when I was in Bangkok, when I first got to Bangkok and I was in that other area, I was processing and I realized, oh shit, that's what's happening with the Patreon. I feel scared that I'm not going to be supported. And I was having a conversation with Spirit. You know, we was talking. Because I be talking to my Spirit team. I be like, you know, sometimes I be having a little attitude, and sometimes I be like, okay, Spirit, I understand. Okay. You know, but we be having conversations, and I'm so grateful for our line of communication. So I was just in a moment of processing and reflecting, and I was like, damn, that's what's happening with the Patreon, is that fear is blocking the Patreon journey, and I've allowed it to happen because I feel like I'm not going to be supported or whatever. And so last time we talked, I basically told y'all that I was going to work diligently on the Patreon, and I was going to have it, or work before we finished, before we did this live. I can say, one, I have worked diligently on it. So basically, like, I've organized my thoughts and I've gotten, you know, the tiers set up, the goals set up, some of the different, I got a lot of the elements set up. The only thing that needs to be done at this point, I need to write my about page. I need to revamp my thank you page, and then I want to do a video for my about page, you know, because that just is better in terms of like the structure. So what I've decided in terms of my audio diaries, because for anybody who doesn't know, I feel like I've been mentioning this, but let's just clear it up real quick. Basically, I've been doing audio diaries, which I started when I was in Brazil. Excuse me. So during that period of time where y'all know my computer was broken and I was going through a spiritual awakening, we weren't really communicating a lot in our virtual life of just like on YouTube or on Instagram. Like, I feel like I had completely removed myself from social media. However, as different things were happening, I was recording them on my phone as an audio diary. I believe that this was even better for me because it's different when you're expressing something in an audible way, and also when you're not being seen physically, but all you can do is hear. You know, it just changes the elements of what you're sending out and the message, and even just how vulnerable you are. You know what I mean? Because I honestly believe that my audio diaries are more vulnerable than these videos, and that was like a shocker to me, because I believe that I'd be very vulnerable with y'all. Like, I'm very much an honest person, and I am what you see, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those people who are like trying to be so perfect and trying to fake the funk. Like, how you get me online is how you get me in person, period. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be some like, oh, she seems like she's so confident online, and then you meet me and then it's like, oh, she's shy as shit, or she don't even like herself, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, what you get here is what you get, period. However, I believe that the audio diaries basically just gave me a different layer to share, you know what I mean? Because, you know, when we're sharing stories and things, or when I'm just sharing part of my journey, most of the time these are things that I've already dealt with and things that I've already come through. So it's like I'm sharing the aftermath of like, okay, yeah, I made it through. However, what I realized with the audio diaries is like I'm sharing stuff while I'm still in the thick of it. You know what I mean? So it was like just a very different element, because it's like a lot of times people are telling their story after the fact, and recalling a story, sometimes you might just you may leave out elements or pieces, not intentionally, but just it just may happen that way just because of what you remember from from that moment. But when you're in the thick of something and sharing it, it's like the impact is different. So basically, I have the first series of audio diaries is from Brazil when I was going through my awakening. And I want to say it's like 16 to 24 diaries. I got to go back and look at them. I can't remember, but it's a big chunk. And then the second round of diaries started when I got to Bangkok because it was a journey, honey. Some things was going on when I first got to Bangkok. It was just, I can't fully explain. It was just a moment of reflection and a moment of, I don't have a proper word to truly express it, but basically the second round of diaries are from this period of time right now. So I've decided that one, the audio diaries are going to be specific to Patreon. I just believe that level of vulnerability needs to have a solid support system. Like, not saying that y'all ain't solid, because I know y'all rock with me, and I definitely feel very supported by y'all, but I believe that Patreon is a foundation for the brand, honestly. I truly do, and I believe it's going to be a game changer for everyone who's involved. Like, yeah, the brand is going to be able to expand and do a lot of other things that I've been wanting and dreaming of doing for a while. However, the way that it's set up, it's like everybody who is a part of it is going to have just life-changing experiences with me. So I'm super excited about that. So basically, I decided two major things over this week. One, audio diaries will not be anywhere else but Patreon. Two, I'm limiting the amount of Patreons that I'm going to have. So, you know, a lot of times with people, they open their Patreon account up to just however many people just sign up. And Spirit, basically, that's not what my spirit has led me to do. I think if initially I was thinking like, oh, okay, this is how much it's going to be, and this is, even my pricing, y'all, is a bit different. You know, it's a lot different than what would be the normal. However, there's some major, y'all just gonna have to wait and see, but it'll definitely be out by the next time that we talk, because these last 3-4 elements I'm doing today and tomorrow. So yeah, basically the Patreon community is going to be limited. Like, it's not going to be access to everybody. It's literally, once the cap has been met, I actually did put a cap on it. I'm not going to tell y'all the number right now. Once the Patreon is out, you'll see the cap under the tier. But once the cap is met, that's the cap. And I just believe keeping a cap on the amount of people who are in the Patreon, I just believe it'll create a different type of support system. You know what I mean? And I just see this being, y'all know how Nipsey Hussle, when he came out with his you know how when he came out with he came out with this album, I can't remember, but he sold, like, he basically gave the whole album away for free on virtual download, but then he had like 100 copies of the album that he sold for $100. So basically something similar to that, but it's not gonna cost y'all up to no $100, but something similar to that idea, where it's like the few super supportive sisters here helping build the foundation that makes everything else blossom. You know what I mean? And I just want to connect with that group of supporters in a different way, you know, that begins to build bonds between us, so that not only I feel supported, but like all of the sisters who are a part feel supported as well. So I am going to give y'all a little heads up because I want to share a few of the goals with y'all. Because I believe that I have some really dope goals. I'm like super excited. And basically, yes, for watermelon. Oh my God. With the seeds. Basically, the way I see this happening, I really see that once we meet our cap, I won't be opening it up bigger. You know, basically the cap is the cap, okay? The cap is the cap, and who in it is in it. And I just see, I don't know, I just see this support all year. You know what I mean? I just see this support all year. I just see it happening and flowing, and I honestly believe that the initial women who come in, I don't see any slots opening up after they come in and get these blessings that I'm about to be sharing, because it's gonna be even more than just the audio diaries. You know, it's like I just believe that these women, maybe even men too, because I know I got a bit of a male community as well. Mm. However, I just see us growing together, basically. I just see us growing together. So something new that I'm doing, because you know, like with goals on Patreon, a lot of times people have goals that are self-centered or brand-centered, where it's like, oh, when we reach this much money or these many Patreons, we will be able to get an assistant. You know, or when we reach these many Patreons, we'll be able to put out videos more consistently. And I get the structure of that because, you know, Patreon as a foundation does help you do things like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's things that everyone needs. When you have solid support, you're able to do more frequently. So it's like, to me, that feels like a given. You know what I mean? Like, of course, with the foundation of Patreon, I'll be able to get back to more editing. Of course, I'll be able to hire an assistant. You know, of course, you know, the foundational structure of my brand will be more solid. It should be, because you have more support on the financial end. However, I'm the type of person where I believe that, like, if I'm eating, everybody should eat, period. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of y'all have been asking me to do events. A lot of y'all have been asking me to do, girl, this watermelon is so good. It's so sweet. Oh my goodness. Girl, we gotta have a happy dance for this. So basically, I know a lot of y'all have been asking me to do meetups. I pretty much be meeting up with y'all on the low, you know, like whenever y'all message me and y'all be like, oh, Courtney, I'm in Bangkok, or I'm where you at, can we link up? I always say yeah. However, I know y'all want to do more group meetups, you know. And I remember when y'all first started asking me this, because เพราะว่าเขายังไม่มีการโอนคือเอาง่ายๆเลยบริษัทญี่ปุ่นที่เอาไปเนี่ยน่าจะเอาไปแต่ยังไม่ได้มีการโอนค่ะอาจจะแค่วางเงินประจำอย่างเดียวยังไม่ได้มีการโอนใดๆทั้งสิ้นป้าเอารายละเอียดหรือป้าเอารายละเอียดดีๆเลยค่ะ Maybe she going on to somebody เอาแบบเจาะลึกดีๆเลยนะโอเคค่ะBasically, I remember when y'all first started asking me to do these meetups, when y'all was like, sis, do a meetup, da 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 da. And honestly, y'all, my first thought was like, I think meetups are cool, but I'm always the type of person that want to take things to another level. And I believe that I want to do meetups where it's not just like a meetup. It's more of like a, y'all supported me and I want to support you do something great too. You know what I mean? Like, let's take a trip and you don't have to pay for it. You know what I mean? Let's take a trip and, you know, I can cover this and this and this. So, this is what we'll be doing with Patreon in 2020, and I'm very excited because, yo, I got like, y'all know with major ideas, okay? I be coming up with some cute stuff to do. I always be, you know, like, I'm the type of person, I don't need a group to have fun. I can find the fun. I can make the fun. So just bringing in the group element, it's like, baby, sis be coming through with the ideas, okay? And basically, that's part of the Patreon element as well. We'll be able to start doing these meetups. Now, granted, I will have some meetups that will be just regular meetups, but all of my goals are oriented around y'all. Excuse me. And I had to narrow it down because, excuse me, when I first started thinking about Patreon, like legit, y'all should see my notebook. Girl, I got so many notebooks with so many ideas. I always write everything down, and I suggest you do too. Like, write it into fruition. So basically I have like all these ideas of like all these things that I've been wanting to do and I would love to do with y'all. A lot of them are like bucket list type things. A lot of them are like things once in a lifetime type things. But at the same time, I realize, you know, sometimes you can't do everything all at once. You gotta pick and choose. And so I believe the structure of this is gonna be like the people who are in it, basically. These are going to be the core women back in the brand, baby. The core women and maybe the few men who come on board as well. But like, honestly, I see once it opens, I don't see it fluctuating that much. I feel like the people who started are probably going to be the people who finish it most likely. And basically for 2020, I'm starting with 10 goals. And then after that year ends, next year I bring in some more goals. You know what I mean? Like more activities and things. Hold on, I just saw a comment. Lisa, hey girl. She said, I am there with you. A meetup is better when it's structured. Yeah, it's so necessary. I just really feel like, why just meet up when we can meet up and shake some ass? You know what I mean? When we can meet up and make memories. And I believe that's important, especially for a support system, you know? Like, I want to create memories with y'all. I want to be able to do some dope things with y'all. You know what I mean? I want to be able to be like, one of my goals for real, honestly, that's not on here yet, because this is something that maybe in year 2. But honestly, I want to be like, girl, we going to Carnival. You ain't got to pay for shit. I'm buying your flight. I'm buying your accommodations. We going. Let's go. Don't stress. Don't worry. Let's go. Let's go live our best life. You know what I mean? So, y'all. This watermelon is so good. This watermelon is so good. So basically, I just see the Patreon growing year by year, with different activities being introduced year by year. So the first year we have, for 2020, we have 10 different goals, and they're dope, okay? I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek of 1, maybe 2, just so y'all can know what's up. Let me see. Okay, so one really dope goal that I have listed is basically a ATL roll bounce weekend. So all of these are set up as giveaways as well because they got to be paid for, okay? So I can't pay for everybody to go, but it basically unlocks the giveaway, and then a specific number of people are able to submit raffle tickets, because basically each month that you support, you'll get a raffle ticket virtually. I still got to figure out where I'm gonna be able to set up these raffle tickets are as well. This is something I'm doing today. So like I said, the Patreon is practically done now, like for real, for real. Like I've structured my thoughts, the goals are in, the tier is, because there's only one tier. There's not a lot of tiers. I'm keeping it very simple. There's only one tier, but I have the intro in the tier. I have all the benefits in the tier already. So literally the only thing that I have to put in here is the overview or the about me page. And then I have to I want to put in a video on the page, and I want to put in the thank you video or like a thank you page. And then I have to figure out where these raffles, how these raffles are going to be sent, because basically each month that you support, you will get a raffle ticket, and then you'll be able to submit your raffle ticket. So like, let's say you see all the events or all the goals, because you know, once you go to the Patreon page, you'll be able to see like all the goals that are available. So let's say you see different goals and you like, actually that's the one I really want to go to. So if you want to save all your raffle tickets and submit them, you can choose which events you want to submit your raffle tickets. So basically it'll give you a better chance of, you know, being able to come on that particular event. But they gonna be lit, honey. We about to shake some ass in 2020, okay? I don't know if y'all ready. However, one of our goals, when we reach 60 members, this is a giveaway unlocks for an ATL roll bounce weekend trip. So what's included is a Friday welcome dinner and a Sunday brunch catered by Chef Kodak. I don't know if y'all know Chef Kodak, but his food look good. I don't know if y'all follow, basically it's a show on YouTube. It's actually by the Thrillish channel, like Thrill IST. And they do a bunch of different cooking series, but they do a show called Insta, and it's this he a little heavy set, but he seemed cool as hell. I can't think of his name right now, but a little black guy. And basically he goes to different cities. He been all over the place, Philly, Houston, New Orleans, like he be all over the place, and literally he finds like Instagram chefs, and he like brings some type of celebrity. Like I remember he was in maybe he was in Memphis with Big Boy. I might have them mixed up, but he was in Memphis with Big Boy at one point. He was in ATL with Big Sean at one point. And basically, he goes to these Insta chefs who are like big known Insta chefs who cook like really amazing food. And they basically cook a meal for them. And they just, you know, review it. And then they go see another chef. So they normally do 2 chefs. So Chef Kodak, y'all can actually look him up on Instagram, see some of his foods. Okay, it's a blessing, and I like to eat, and I'm sure y'all like to eat too. Okay, basically I actually reached out to him already. So like literally I've done the work in terms of these first goals, because part of it was like I had to reach out to different people to see like, okay, what y'all prices are, so how much money, so I'll know like how much money we'll need for specific events, and like how many people can come based on the price, you know, and like how much money we'll have available to us based on how many Patreons we'll have, you know. So check out Chef Kodak. He's on Instagram. Food is absolutely amazing, and he's in Atlanta. So basically he's gonna cater for us for our Friday welcome dinner, and he's also gonna cater for us for our Sunday brunch before everybody leaves and goes back home. I'm sure Friday night, not Friday night, Saturday we gonna turn up somewhere. Like, you know, we gonna eat out somewhere, because apparently Atlanta has a lot of amazing food. And then we'll have like a private skate lesson. So I'm not sure if anybody ever wanted to learn how to skate, but like I actually used to skate, but I never really learned tricks, and I've always wanted to learn tricks. So I found a girl on Instagram. Her name is Skate Fantasy. She is so dope, and I have to tell y'all how divine it is that I met her, because legit Okay, let me tell y'all this story. So legit, I was on Instagram, right? I was just scrolling through. I can't remember. I feel like she just popped up somewhere on my feed, right? And I just like, you know, you find somebody dope, you start just going through their you know, you just start going through their you know, their page, and you legit like liking everything, commenting on everything, like, oh yes, sis, oh, okay. So literally, I'm like, oh dang, this is dope. She teaches skate classes, and I was like, oh. So I messaged her to see what her prices are, and literally, girl, we like best friends now. We are like best friends now, and this was around the same time that I posted. Did y'all see me on Instagram when I posted that hula hoop video? It was to Summer Walker, the song Girls Need Love. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's like the second hula hoop video from the top. So basically, after we have been messaging and just talking and all this stuff, basically she was like, she saw me post that video, she commented under the video, and she was like, yo, this is me, I'm in this video, I taught, you know, like she was the instructor. Basically she was the instructor. I'm sure y'all saw that video. You know, this is the Girls Need Love video. Basically Summer Walker was like skating, and like, you know, what skating rink is that? It was the same skating rink that Roll Bounce was filmed at with T.I. with Lauren London. But basically they was skating, they was looking real cute. It was like an all girls type of cast. They was skating in this particular skating rink, and they like left and they was like driving to the city, living their best life. Girl, it was cute. So I was like, oh my god, this is so freaking divine. Like, I didn't even realize. So then of course I had to go back and watch the video and look for her. But like, yeah, so she basically taught Summer Walker for this particular video how to skate and do like different little tricks and things like that. And then she was in the video as well, and she's just really dope energy. So basically one of the events is that we'll have a weekend in ATL, and the skating lesson will be covered by me, as well as the private chef will be covered by me, as well as accommodations. And all you gotta do is book your flight. Shit, buy your drinks, you know what I mean? I believe I'm gonna cover all the food on Saturday as well. I believe, but I know for sure I'm gonna cover the private dinner, the two private, like the private breakfast, the private dinner, welcome dinner, and our skating party. And then our accommodations as well, so we can have somewhere real cute and comfortable to stay. So yeah, that's one of the goals. I'm not gonna give y'all too much, but that's one of the goals that will be able to be unlocked with this. But that's like some of the stuff that we'll be able to do. You know, like, it's some dope stuff, y'all. I'm excited. I'm very excited, and I'm very much so looking forward to it, because I just believe that like everyone who is involved, I just feel like we're gonna be creating a bond between each other, you know what I mean? And not just on some like, okay, I see you once at this meetup, but no, like we doing some dope things together as well, that's even connecting us deeper, you know what I mean? And just creating memories, you know what I mean? And by that time I'll be back vlogging and stuff. So I believe that like the vlogs that will come out during that time will be more meaningful too, because it won't be just me, it's like the people who end up coming as well will be in these vlogs. So yes for us, okay? Yes for us leveling up, and just all the greatness that's going to be flowing to us in 2020. So get ready for that, because legit, I'm past the fear. I feel like I've transmuted the fear, and I'm gonna finish up the last few details for the Patreon, which should be done. Today is Monday in Bangkok. I'm gonna give myself until tomorrow. I'm not gonna give myself a long time. Like legit, half of the things that I need to do I can do today, because I literally need to film those videos. I'm probably gonna do it after I get off of this live with y'all, and then tomorrow I'll probably do my About Me page, figure out how I'm gonna send these raffles on a monthly basis. And I also had a dream about setting up a registration form. Yeah, because it's like some details that I would need to know you know, like when y'all birthday, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like this is just, it's a lot deeper and more connected than we are in any other place online. So I am excited. I'm very, very, very excited. We about to cut up, okay? We about to cut up, shake some ass, see some people's city, paint the town red, and I'm very happy about it. And I'm trying to think what else I wanted to share with y'all today. It was something else, but I remember now. I think I already told y'all about getting prepared for the new year with like your journals and things. If you didn't catch it on Instagram, I'm gonna pull a little mindful piece for y'all too, and then that's gonna be that. So I have this mindful journal. I'm gonna go to a random page and we're gonna work on this together over the next 24 hours. Basically what spirit feels like we need. And I do this a lot with like spiritual books where I don't work straight through it. I literally will let spirit lead me to where I need to be and what I need to be working on. So basically this has different journal prompts and they're meant to help you be mindful. So I'm gonna go to a random one because I believe that's everything else. I'm trying to think, like, because I know it was something else I was gonna tell y'all, but I can't remember right now. I think that's it. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. Okay, so let me pull us a random page in the mindful journal, and then I'm gonna go so I can finish the rest of the things that I want to do. And oh, Dara, I didn't see this one. Okay, Dara said, I'm okay, my friend. It was a personal type of surgery. I can't say publicly, but it's been hard both physically and emotionally, but thankful to be here. I appreciate your positive energy. Hugs. Oh, hugs, love. I understand that, you know, some stuff is definitely not meant for the social sphere, and I'm sure like any type of surgery is tough on you. So I'm glad that you did what you needed to do, because obviously it may have been something that you needed, you know what I mean, or I'm sure you wouldn't have done it. But I'm just sending you some healing vibes, you know, sending you lots of love and just a speedy, speedy recovery, okay? So y'all send there some good vibes as well, some good healing energy so you can make it through. And yeah, you could text me too, girl. If you ever need to talk about it, text me, just DM me. You know, we on Instagram. I believe you on, girl, yeah, you on Instagram. I just saw you on Instagram not too long ago. So yeah, just message me. Okay. Let's see. Whew. Okay, so the one that we have, it says, the next time you take a familiar journey, decide to notice everything you can during it. It can be a short shopping trip or somewhere you go frequently. I'm gonna read that again, okay? The next time you take a familiar journey, decide to notice everything you can during it. It can be a short shopping trip or somewhere you go frequently. When doing something we know well, we can go into automatic pilot and retreat inside our own thoughts. So this time, really look around you and be fully present. Who or what do you see that you haven't noticed before? How does that make you feel? Write it down. Notice every aspect of what you are walking up on and how different surfaces make your body feel. Repeat this and you will discover you find something new each time, no matter how familiar your journey. Okay? That's our mindful activity for the next 24 hours, okay? So basically, I don't like that. So basically, if we take a familiar walk, a familiar journey, any type of like, you know, going to Walmart, the route that we take to go home, sitting in a class, or, you know, sitting at your office desk, or whatever familiar activity activity that you happen to do within the next 24 hours, I want you to take that into a mindful place and just, you know, follow those directions. Come back and replay this part if you need to, but basically just be present in that moment and really think about, you know, what is happening here? How am I feeling? Start to recognize the sensations in your body as well. Like if you're walking through this familiar space, are you feeling energy moving in your feet? Are you feeling like a pain that pops up in your back? Like, you know, recognize what you're feeling, recognize what's around you, and write it down. And even if you want to come back to this video and drop it in the comments, that'll work as well. I might drop mine in the comments, and that way we can all share together. Hey Shanice, hey ladies, just joining. I was trying to check out the retreat information, but it's there real quick. Let's see. Let me check that out real quick, because we don't want that to be happening. Maybe I have a link that's not working or something on the old video. So let's drop in the link now for you, and then we'll move from there.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret.
I don't want it. Thank you. Hold up. Let me get to the comments. There it goes. All right, there's the link. Click that link and you should be able to go straight to it. Also, I'm gonna drop it in the comments for after this video ends. Okay. I put it in 2 places, so that way for anyone who doesn't get it within the live feed, it's also on the main video comments as well. And as of right now, there is only 4 spots available. Okay, so yes sis, yes for the retreat, y'all. I haven't even been doing any promo lately. You know, I feel like I got to Bangkok and I just been listening to Spirit, and this is what I always do. I just feel so freaking grateful. I just feel so grateful. I know I'm so blessed because I know that the walk that I'm on right now is not one that everyone is able to walk. You know what I mean? Like, I realize that I'm walking a journey that is less traveled. And I realized the process of being able to be on spiritual time is not something that everybody is able to do. You know what I mean? Because it's like, not even saying that I'm fully woke, because I do believe that there is still a lot of things that I have to learn about spirit. You know what I mean? I believe that a lot of things are still unknown to me. And I was actually watching The Hood Healer. I hope if y'all not watch, y'all gotta get in tune with The Hood Healer. So she's on Twitter, which is the best place to be following her, but also she's on Instagram, where she does a lot of live videos. And girl, her readings, sis, her readings be accurate as fuck. Okay, so I would definitely suggest that you're following her as well. Last live that she did, she basically, girl, hold up, I got some notes for that before I leave y'all. Let's talk about the Hood Healer, because she is everything. Let's talk about the Hood Healer. Let me put these notes out. Like, whenever she goes live, like, I highly suggest that when you go follow the Hood Healer, 1, go follow her, and 2, put on the notification bell for her lives, because you don't want to miss them. And legit, she don't always save them. Like, sometimes if like people are kind of like acting crazy in the lives, because she's starting to get bigger, you know, she won't save it and you'll miss the info. So like, you need to put the notifications on, so like as soon as you're live, you'll get a notification so you don't miss the info if she doesn't save it. But basically, on our last live, she basically did all the zodiac signs and what our 2020 is going to be looking like. So that in itself was very profound, and for me, because I basically believe that whenever you're looking at zodiac things, you should look at your sun, moon, and rising. And if you don't know what your sun, moon, and rising is, one, there's a calculator on Google. Just Google sun, moon, and rising calculator and figure out what it is. You basically need your birthday and your time of birth. You can do it without your time of birth. However, it's more accurate. Have your time of birth and it gives you your whole birth chart. So like literally the most, I'm not gonna say the most important, but like the most commonly used are the sun, moon, and rising. So most people already know their sun. The sun is most of the time based off of, not most of the time, the sun is based off of when you were actually, like the month you were actually born. I was born in April 21st. I'm a Taurus. However, my moon is a Virgo, and I honestly resonate a lot more with my Virgo. And then my rising sign is a Scorpio. So it's like different elements between the three, like how people see you versus how you see yourself versus how you present yourself. You know what I mean? So it just gives you a fuller picture of what's going on with you that's more accurate. But then you can also see, like, from this birth chart, you'll get like what sign you are in Venus, what signs you are in different houses, what signs, you know, it just gives you so much in detail. So basically you can go into Google, like if you're not familiar with how to read a birth chart, Google University is your best friend. Like literally, if you want to know like what house is for communication, let's say you having some issues with communication, and let's say hypothetically the third house deals with communication, you look on your birth chart and say, okay, in the third house I'm a Scorpio, or I'm a Gemini, or I am a Cancer. Go to Google and put in Cancer in third house meaning, and it will pull up so much information about communication is in that position with that particular sign, what you struggle with. It just helps you build so much more of an understanding for who you are and your strengths, your weaknesses. And the biggest thing that you have to conquer in this life is knowing thyself, y'all. Like really, I know a lot of times society makes it seem like we are being selfish if we are self-caring, and to an extent it is selfish, but at the same time ain't shit wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like this is the longest relationship that we're gonna have. You know what I mean? It's the most important relationship. Like I know sometimes people want to say like motherhood is important, is the most important relationship, or being able to be a wife is the most important relationship, and I highly disagree with that shit. Because at the end of the day, if you are not right within with yourself first, you can't be right for nothing else. You know what I mean? Like if you as your own being, if you don't know yourself, if you are not taking care of yourself, if you are not prioritizing yourself, and you are allowing yourself to be depleted, every other relationship that you have is going to be affected. Like every single other one. Like legit. You can't be a good mom if you don't know how to take care of yourself. Like your inner child is low key, the first child that you have. That's the first child that you are mothering. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if people really realize that like when you get to adulthood, you're already a mother. You are already a father. You have an inner child within you, and most of us did not healthy childhood dynamics. You know what I mean? Like the older I get, I realize that a lot of people went through something in their childhood, something traumatic in their childhood, and those things are popping up in our adulthood. You know what I mean? So that's your first child, yo. That's your first child. And if you're not taking the time to mother or parent your child, your inner child, and you feel like you're having issues in life, you have blockages in life, then you need to go within, and you need to go talk to your inner child, and you need to start to parent them, you know, so they can stop acting out, and you can get on with your life and where you're supposed to be. And it's very interesting too, because the inner live I found very amazing. Lisa said, I so believe the idea to give life to self in order to inspire others. Hello, baby, yes, okay. Choose thyself. I believe it too, Lisa. And I realize this takes a shift because if you think about it, if you really think about it, every single thing that society has shifted us to be, or molded us to be, or groomed us to be, that's the better word. Everything that society has groomed us to be has been to move us farther away from ourselves and farther away from our spirit. Because if you think about it, if we really were very connected to ourselves and we really knew who we are and our capabilities, can you imagine how powerful this whole world would be? And like a lot of the things that society is getting away with, how like none of that shit will fly. So it's really more of like it's more of a survival mechanism, I believe, on society's standpoint, because it's like we can't control you if you are connected to yourself. We can't control you if you are connected to spirit. We can't control you if you know who you are. You know what I mean? So I believe in the process of starting to dismantle all of the things that society has groomed us since before we came out of our womb. We have to start to, you know, learn about ourselves. We have to start to reconnect with ourselves. We have to start to tap into spirit, period. And it was interesting because a couple of things have been happening for me this past year. I've definitely been more on a choose self vibe. You know what I mean? Like, I realized in one instance with dating, because I stopped dating. I don't know if I told you that. Did I tell y'all this? I stopped dating. So basically, I am currently on a 1-year commitment to date myself. Because I believe that, girl, I'm trying to trip. But there is so many women who don't know how to be by themselves, who are groomed with the idea of like having a man is the all be all. And I don't believe that. I know back in the old days, you know, when women didn't have the right to vote and the right to work and just a lot of the privileges that we have now, having a man was more of a necessity, because it's like, okay, well, I can't go work and I can't make money for myself. I can't do this, X, Y, and Z. So I need someone to do this and that and all these things. And even then, I just don't agree with that narrative. And I honestly believe when it comes to men that, yes, it is ideal to be able to be in a healthy, committed, well, whatever commitment looks like for you, but I believe like it is ideal to be in a healthy relationship. I believe it's most ideal for me to be with my divine partner. I don't want to be with nobody else but my divine partner, period. And that doesn't just mean in like an intimate relationship, because I believe divine partners show up in different ways in your life, but relationships that are healthy and equally yoked, like mutually beneficial for every party involved, you know what I mean? At the same time, when it comes to men, I personally believe that you're not gonna come into my life and cause drama. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you know, if I want you, that's one thing, but I don't need you. You know what I mean? Like, I truly believe like men are icing on the cake of life. It's not like I can make, like, I just look at it like a cake. Like, I can live life with a very nice cake without no icing and still enjoy the hell out that cake. You know what I mean? But you know, you can put a little icing on it and I might like that too. But at the end of the day, it's not a necessity to eat this cake. You know, it's not a necessity to live this life. And I believe when women get out of that mindset, they must have a man, they will stop putting up with all the things that they don't deserve. You know what I mean? They'll stop letting somebody dusty that son do all kind of craziness for them, because I do believe like a lot of women be in stuff just because they want to be chose. You know, it's like, it's something about being chose by a man that has a lot of women putting themselves in crazy ass situations. And I'm like, sis, but you can choose yourself. And this kind of happened to me, y'all, after the breakup with Kelvin. I had a moment and I just was like asking myself, like, what will it look like if I choose me? Because I had a moment where I was like, you know, like, I ain't never been no stupid girl now, okay? Now I have some stuff that, you know, I have done some stupid things, you know, we all have, because as women we have to walk our journeys and we have to live our life. Let me, oh, how much battery I got? I got 10%. Holla. I said, hold up. I said, hold up. You see your baby? I'm at the window. I don't know all the words. Basically, let me put this charger in too so this phone don't die, because apparently I got a message for y'all. So, wait a minute. Give me a second, sis. Give me a second. Pow. 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 Pow, 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 pow. Is it charging now? Yes, it is. Okay. I just had a moment with myself after my last serious relationship, because I just had a moment where I just realized, like, as smart as I am, because I do believe, like, when I was born in the shower. I came into this world feet first. I was ready to hit the ground running. And a lot of times in life, I have known things that I believe came to me from another life. You know what I mean? So, like, for the longest, like, I knew, like, certain stuff I don't deal with. You know what I mean? Like, even if I'm gonna deal with and all these kind of things. However, I feel like I have always been pretty strong in, like, removing myself from situations that are not serving me, and removing myself from situations that I don't want, you know, especially with men, you know, men trying to treat me a certain way, and I'm like, I don't like that, and I'm done with this, you know what I mean? However, even saying all of that, I just recognized this grooming that had happened to me at some point in my life, because I was like, damn, I believe that I still have been trying to be chose all of my life. And it goes a lot deeper for me too, because, you know, just like when you're abandoned by family, when you are rejected by family, that shit hits you on another level. You know, as much as people try to play it off like, you know, they don't feel nothing from, like, their parents, you know, rejection or things like that, it hits you, you know what I mean? And sometimes you be out in these streets looking for love in all the motherfucking wrong places. And part of that journey, I believe that I have been trying to be chose, you know, and not just by men, because I even have recollections where I was, you know, reflecting on life, thinking about, like, you know, how I want their family to choose me. But at the end of the day, it's like, nobody's gonna, this is something that takes people some time to learn, you know, because I mean, I had to learn that. It took me some things that I had to go through to get to this point where I'm like, what is my needs is priority. And that sometimes may look like I ain't answering no messages for the week, you know, like, you know, whatever it is that I'm needing, you know what I mean? Or this person is cool, but, like, I literally legit just had to release a friend that I truly love, you know what I mean? But, like, choosing myself over anybody, you know what I mean? It's like nobody at this point in the game where I am at can come into my universe and create madness. Nobody can come into my universe and make me feel less than about myself. Nobody about to come into my universe, because at the same time revolve around you, but actually, sis, your world does revolve around you. Okay, like, this is why I so much, because the shape of that circle that is around you, like, when you're hula hooping, it's a very spiritual type of moment. And it's like you really get connected with the fact that like this is my space, this is my universe, I control the energy that happens around it. And once you get clear about that, and you get clear with like, you know, whoever got to go, period, you know what I mean? And it's like it puts you in a place for you to welcome in the energy that you truly want. Like legit, like when I tell you, I legit just had to let go of somebody. And it wasn't like on some like it just was honestly, I felt some jealous energy on one hand. I understand that like not everybody's on the same level, and people be sometimes wanting what you got, and or they just might be feeling away because you're able to do things in a way that you're doing them and they're not, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I want everybody to understand you gotta walk your own journey. You know, you gotta walk your own journey, and you gotta just be 10 toes down yourself, and you gotta be clear about letting go of the jealousy. You know what I mean? Like even when people message me, oh, I'm so jealous of your life. Like I don't find that to be a compliment, and I always try to encourage them to not be, because I just believe that like it ain't nothing that I have that was meant for you. Like if it was meant for you, you would have it, and if it is meant for you, you will get it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to send that energy to me. You know what I mean? Or you don't have to put that energy out into the world. Everything that is meant for you in this life, you gonna have it. Start telling the universe what you want and it'll come, you know what I mean? Like I legit feel like it just, you know, you just gotta be like in this place of like gratitude one, because it's like sometimes people be like behind the scenes, you know what I mean? You don't know what that person had to go through to even get to that, you know what I mean? So you don't really know what you really sitting that you jealous of until you in it, and it's like it's no need for none of that. Honestly, it's no need for none of that. However, I did have to let homegirl go because I just was like, I know that I'm moving forward in a place where everyone who is around me is aligned with me, and everybody jealous of me, you know, like the people who are closest to me, like we all in alignment. You know what I mean? We all in alignment and clear about we gonna get what we want. And it's interesting too, because I had a moment when I was shopping this week. I went to the Tesco. Girl, I've been at this Tesco like every day this week. But I went to the Tesco, and me and my inner child was talking, because like it was the first time I went to the Tesco since I had got back, and I legit was walking around the whole entire store, right? And I always do this when I go into stores, but I had never had a conversation with my inner self in the process. But literally, whenever I go to a mall, whenever I go to a market, whenever I go to a place, for some reason, I'm not gonna say for some reason because now I know, but I like to see the whole thing. Okay, I walk around, all this kind of stuff. And so I was walking around and I was talking to my inner child, and I was like, well, what is up with this, you know? Because we know we know what we need. And my inner child basically said that she was scared that she gonna miss out on something. You know, this is part of the process of like why she likes to see everything, you know. And I just had to reassure her that like we ain't missing shit though. The way that this life is set up, the way that my spirit team is set up, we ain't missing shit that is for us, okay? And it's like you have to reaffirm yourself in that energy constantly so that you can help to break down any blocks that are in your subconscious. Is like what is meant for you will find you, period. What is meant for you will find you. You ain't missing nothing, you know what I mean? And I even, like I said, I just had to reaffirm this within my spirit, within my spirit and my inner child this week, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you're doing things and you don't realize why you're doing it. This is part of the process of why you need to be being mindful, because it's like you need to start breaking down like some of the things that you do and why are you doing it, you know what I mean? Because some people can go to a store and go straight to what they want and get it and roll out, but for me, I always find myself walking through every aisle, and I'm like, why are you doing this, sis? You know, you don't need to do it. Another thing that popped up with the spirit hood healer was that she made a statement on her last live about how we have to sometimes be parents to our parents, and how we sometimes are more spiritually advanced than our parents, and how a lot of times we are upset that we are more advanced spiritually than our parents, and just, you know, upset that we got to teach them. And she just was emphasizing how we should shift that energy and be more grateful, you know. And I just it hit me on a deep level. Y'all know I have been healing. Like, my mom still isn't talking to me. I'm okay with that. I've come to terms. You know, she done blocked me on everything, so I don't have any access to her to even try to rebuild anything until she's ready. Um, and I'm just like, I hope this isn't, you know, like, I just, divine timing basically, and I'm okay being divine timing. However, y'all know more recently I've been trying to have a conversation with my dad to heal with him, and I hadn't responded to him because I was a bit upset and a bit taken back by how he ignored my requests on two different messages. And then after that, like, we haven't talked, so that's probably been about a month that we haven't talked. Like, I talked to my aunt and stuff like that, but I haven't talked to him. I haven't messaged him. I didn't even reply to the last message because it's like, I've told you on two moments that you ignored what I said. Like, you know, like, I'm gonna be hurt, or we ain't gonna talk, period. But then listening to this message about parenting your parents, or just being more spiritually advanced than your parents, which I definitely believe that I am, you know. And when you realize that, being able to, I guess, have this moment where you can talk to them in a different type of way, you know what I mean? Like, having that understanding that, like, okay, you may be on a spiritual, you may be the spiritual adult and they may be the spiritual child. So it's like, in that type of situation, how would you communicate with the child? You know what I mean? So basically, I just felt like, okay, now I'm ready to reach out to my dad again. I haven't sent the message yesterday, but that's not what happened, because yesterday was my self-care day, and which also was very interesting, y'all, because, girl, you know, you need time to you need at least a day where you don't do shit and you just self-care. You sleep, you eat, you do whatever you want to do that is in relaxation. Okay. And I almost didn't have a self-care day yesterday because I was feeling self, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, it's like, having that workaholic energy is very hard to let go of, you know. And especially if you have a moment where, like, if you haven't been productive and then you have a good productive week, sometimes you want to just keep going in that energy. But it's like, that's how burnout happens. And I really had to have a moment with myself the night before, like, nah, sis, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna allow myself to have a self-care day, you know, fully. Because I feel like a lot of times I'll have a self-care day scheduled and I'll try to get some kind of work in, and I'm like, no, I need to stop that, because balance is key, you know what I mean? And we don't want to be having no burnouts. So I had a proper self-care day yesterday, and part of that plan of yesterday was supposed to be messaging my dad. Didn't happen, so I'm probably gonna message him this week, if not today. And just, I feel like my strategy basically is to tell him that I'm not trying to attack him, because he may feel like I'm trying to attack him, or he may feel like, you know, with old people, sometimes they feel like, you know, they done swept something under the rug, and if they bring it back out again, it's gonna be drama or all this other kind of stuff, or they gonna feel attacked or whatever. I don't know, it's just on my spirit to be like, I want to make it so to talk to him like he is a child. Like, not like he a child, but like, like when I used to teach my kindergarten kids, I would speak to them in a certain specific way so that they can understand where I was coming from. So I'm gonna reiterate some things, but I'm also gonna break some things down so that he can get clear on the fact that I am just trying to help us have a better relationship, a more solid relationship that is beyond surface level, that is not meant to attack him. And we gonna see how that goes. And I'll keep y'all posted. Like, once I actually think of the exact words that I'm gonna say, I will share with y'all for anybody else who is like dealing with family that they're trying to heal, and figuring out how to speak to this family, or how to bring up, because obviously this is a conflict within our relationship that I'm trying to actively heal. So I'm gonna share basically the text message. So once I actually process fully and process the wording, I will share with y'all, so y'all will have a blueprint for like your own conversations that you may be needing to have. Excuse me. And I'll let y'all know how it goes, if he actually responds this time, or if he even actually acknowledges, and we gonna just go from there. That's really all that I got right now on that end, because I just feel like I didn't really, like I said, I was really shocked by him not acknowledging me. But then once I dug deeper into my history, I'm like, damn, he has not acknowledged me on several other occasions that I never recognized. Like, I've been having him on this pedestal, like this saving white horse knight type of figure, and he ain't that. You know what I mean? He's just been viewed in my mind as something that he is not, and now it's like the walls are starting to down, or just it's starting to chip away at like what I thought he was. It's like he is not what I thought he was. And seeing him for who he truly is, maybe this is also part of why he feels, I don't know, or why he feels like he don't really want to have this conversation with me, because maybe he don't want to see his true side. I don't know, girl. I don't know. But we gonna see how this next attempt at this conversation goes. I will let y'all know. But I'm in a good place, so I'm like, either we gonna heal or we not, and either way I'm gonna be good. Okay, either way I'm gonna heal. So we gonna heal together, or I'm gonna heal alone. Period. So that on that. Now let me share a few notes with y'all from this last portal with the hood healer, and then I'm gonna leave y'all for real, because it's about to be 1 o'clock and I want to do some other things. Let me see what time it is. Okay. Okay, so one on one. Oh, it's a lot, girl. Look at this whole sheet of notes, and this is only one page. Okay, the big thing was heal and hustle and heal. So basically she was like, if we're able to, how did she word it? Basically, like for me, only example I can give y'all is for me. So basically, how like in 2018, I did a lot of shutting down, where I was healing, and it felt so overwhelming that I felt like I couldn't do anything else. And the hood healer was like, nah, sis, 2020, we are moving forward, like in healing and hustling. You know what I mean? Like, we can do other things at the same time. So this looks like, instead of giving yourself a full day, because like sometimes people, I feel like Beyonce said this once, where she was like, sometimes she be like feeling sad and she'll give herself the whole day. For me, if I'm feeling sad, I might give myself the whole damn week. But moving forward in 2020, I'm giving myself 10 minutes, yo. Look, you got 10 minutes to cry it out, have your tantrum, roll it out, and then I'm waking up and moving forward, period. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, it's like we have adapted this idea of society, and this is not who we are. We are spiritual beings. We are multifaceted. We have the ability to multitask and do a lot of things at once. So if we need to heal, we can heal, and then make sure we're doing what we need to do as well. um what else did she say? Oh, she was talking about her last name, Cohen, which apparently is like a really big Jewish thing. So she was telling us to do a little study session on that. I don't know if anybody heard of the Killer Cam song. That hoe was lit because she always be playing like dope music. Oh, this might be on the deep end, no, y'all, but she was talking about alien brothers and sisters. And this was very interesting to me because I had a moment where, if we think about how aliens have been portrayed to us, they're always portrayed in a negative light. And who else are portrayed in a negative light? Black people. Okay. So I just had a moment this year where I felt like, in terms of what we know about aliens, there's something more that we are not being told. And she touched bases on this, and she touched bases on this, and at the same time something else happened to me, like a few type of symbol. And I heard about this through the actor, I want to say his name is Terrence Howard. He was doing an interview at some university, and he was talking about the flower of life. And for some reason I feel spiritually led to start, doing some research about it. And from there I start finding like a whole bunch of research on like a whole bunch of geometric shapes, like the tree of life. And I found this one particular video that went in like a lot of depth about how this world was created on energy, how it all comes back to spirit, and then from spirit how it just goes infinitely into other things. And it was very interesting because at the same time I found out about basically he tied it to how the aliens, a lot of times they come to earth and they will make symbols in sharecrop fields, or like fields of like grain or whatever. All of those symbols were symbols that were significant to the tree of life or the flower of life, or some symbol like in alignment with that. So that was very interesting to me. So she basically was saying to research the ancient Egyptians, because she believes the ancient Egyptians are the aliens now. And it was a story about Samaria and aliens. Apparently it was some kind of war. I haven't done all the research yet. I just like got my notes together, and then I'm planning to do the research. But apparently it was some type of war, and apparently the aliens assisted, and they was bending metal. It was like a moment apparently where I guess whoever was the armed forces, they were trying to attack, and then weapons basically bent back towards them so they couldn't shoot at the people, and it was a whole thing. 3D mindset she was talking about. They also recommended that we watch The Watchmen on Netflix. She also made clear about how black skin people is made up of carbon, the same type of material that stars are made of. And she was just saying that, one, we get better in the sun, and we get messages from the moon. Also about us doing some more outer space research. Honestly, let me talk about it, because I believe this. I do believe we get better in the sun. And it's very interesting because I feel like I got this message when I came here, because it's like when I left Korea, from that coming back to Thailand, y'all, it was a energetic shift that was immediate as soon as I got this sun on my skin. And it was interesting because right at the same time, the moon was in, it was the last full moon of the year, here, and I just was in a, I told y'all I was in a clean me out mood. Like, girl, I was on, something was happening and I felt it, and I was like, okay, okay, spirit. She also talked about, oh, this was a deep one. Basically, she was talking about how a lot of times with aliens, alien sightings, as often as, and who else lives in water? Yemenja, Ocean, things like that, different other deities, other goddesses like this. And it was very interesting because she was also talking about how basically lied to us about what the core of the earth is made of. That is not actually what it's made of, and how the process of us being mummified, or basically, well, not us, but like, you know, in the past where like they would be mummified and buried would be so that they could, you know, their spirit could cross back over into this other realm. I'm telling you, but basically, she also wanted us to read up on the Haitian Revolution. That's where the spirit bent the metal, and about our ancestors coming back. I felt she was talking about this, and I felt like I needed to rewatch the Matrix movie as well. Apparently, the ancient scripts is something we needed to read. The Hyans, if I'm pronouncing this right, Heyans. I don't even know if I spelled that shit right, but the Hyans, the Hyans. I cannot spell this one. I cannot pronounce this one, but this is. Let me see if I can drop it in the comments real quick. Ooh, that's about to die. The Anyukias, I don't know. This is the ancient scripts, the ancient angels, black sun lit technology in our DNA, the Moors, the Olmecs, the Doggin tribe. She was saying how we gotta get into metaphysics, and physics in general, chemics, energy healing food, because it comes back to the food. She was talking about the Bermuda Triangle, the Duke of Tyr, the black hole, and all the different portals, Atlantis, the underwater city, Yemenja, and what else she was talking about? Earth chakras, and let's see. Girl, I literally have notes like all over this. Okay, I think that's pretty much it though. I think that breaks it down the best that I can. So yeah, these are things that I'm reading. I should see these notes. They're all over the place. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm done for now. So yeah, these are some of the things that I'm going to be researching soon. I obviously will be sharing them with you as I learn more information about these different things. These are some of the things that I picked up from Spirit myself, as well as some of the things that I picked up spiritually while I was the hood healer when it comes to like family, choosing thyself, parenting yourself, parenting your family. Are you like your parents, you know, on a different spiritual level than you are? What else we touched on in this live? Our Patreon that's popping off, that will be up before our next live, because I am going to finish the last few details today and tomorrow. And yeah, just the dope energy that I'm in right now with being in this space right now. I'm feeling good. And just this whole moment that I'm taking right now to plan out things and get I really honestly already feel in alignment, but just to maintain that alignment, you know, in terms of like my scheduling, making sure I'm preparing my bullet journal, my monthly calendars, and getting very clear about my 300 things. This is very important, y'all. 300 things that you want. Write it down. Take the time to write it down before 2020 begins, okay? Yeah, so that's it, y'all. So I will be talking to y'all next week, this coming week, at some point. At some point this coming week, another weekly check-in with y'all. And I'll touch bases. I feel like the next time that we talk is when I will release the Patreon, because apparently the way that Patreon works too is like they charge people, well, you can get charged either on a monthly basis or you can get charged per project. I selected a monthly basis. So the way it works is that normally whenever someone joins, let's say they join on the 22nd, they will be charged on the 22nd. But then let's say on the 1st, that basically they take payments out every at the first of the month. Okay, they take payments for Patreon out at the first of the month. However, if you join on the 22nd, basically the 22nd you'll be charged, and then you'll be charged again on the first of the month. So I believe it would be best to begin it like maybe a couple of days before the first. Well, it'll be up so y'all can check it out and things like that. But then I would suggest, you know, if you want to sign up on the first, so you aren't charged like twice like that, you know, within a couple of day period. So yeah, that's all I got to share today. And I love you lot. I love you all a lot. Thank you for constantly supporting me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for like just allowing me this space to share and just, you know, be heard, you know, be heard. I appreciate it. So as always, y'all, remember, people will stare. Make it worth their while. And I'll see you later. Bye.